Start off with the eyes today. Boris tells 1 million Poles they can stay. Well, that's because we're not leaving the EU. Brexit is fake. Simple. Now, if you look up the top there, revealed 3,400 British airstrikes against ISIS, mod questioned over claim of no civilian deaths. Now, just like in World War II, there were millions of civilian deaths, and there will be millions of civilian deaths in this as well. So don't believe the propaganda, because today's papers are full of it, and subliminal crap as well. On the right hand side there, the disabled are feeling the brunt of austerity cuts today. Well, that's shocking, isn't it? You'd never have thought that. Seems they've been cutting the poorest of our societies money, increasing taxes on the poorest, cutting taxes for the richest. I wonder why they're feeling them pinch the most then. Weinstein still can't get out of the paper over there. Ashley Judd, I bargained with Weinstein to escape his hotel room. Well, what were you doing there in the first place? And then down the bottom, this is an attack on on families in the family unit. Cheating can sometimes give a relationship a new life, so they're encouraging you to cheat now. So we know where that one's going, don't we? Right, the Mail. Now, the Mail, a paper that really cares about people, secures a huge victory as rationing of cataract operations ends. Now, if any paper really cared about anyone, they wouldn't need to be telling you that. You'd know it automatically. Arrest figures plunge by half. Police are accused of soft justice amid soaring rates of crime. This is more attacking the police, because when they're at the point where you can see that they're absolutely useless, then they're going to bring in G4S and everything will pick up for a short while, and say, oh, it's a good job we got the private G4S as the police now instead of those corrupt criminals. Now, I'm not saying that most of them aren't anyway, but that's what the agenda is behind this. And that Olivia to be the new queen, I don't know what that's about. Times. Neo-Nazi plot to murder Labour MP. I'm not going to say anything about that because it's, well, I'm just not going to say anything about it. But what I do want you to notice is here's where the subliminal stuff starts. Now, you should be horrified at Neo-Nazi plot to murder an MP, but look above it. Scream! Putting it there so it ties in with the effect that they want to get from you. Students hire safe space marshal to police events. Well, not a lot to do with that, really. The scum. Now, here's more subliminal stuff. Now, you'll read the headline, be afraid, be very afraid. That's to get in the public psyche, to be afraid. And then, of course, those with the lower IQ will read that's piece of scum. As Westminster Women's secret WhatsApp group names sex pest MPs, pervy politicians should be afraid, be very afraid. And they'll see that as in the whole context, not as in the main headline, which is there to get at you to be afraid. That's subliminal there. Over on the right, we've got the parasitical scum again. Harry had 2-year crush on Meghan before they... Yeah, utter rubbish. Inbreds like that know exactly who they're going, where they're going, and what it's all about. The Mirror. Well, wedding joy and tears, the greatest gift. Yeah, I suppose that's a feel-good story, so I'll give that one to the Mirror. I've not read the full story, just the main part there. You know, bride saved by lung transplant is walked down the aisle by dad whose tragic girl donated her organs. Yeah, that, I suppose, apart from the fact someone's died, I suppose that is a bit of an okay sort of story. Corrie's mystery. What the hell is TV shows doing in the news? Especially when they're just scripted. Well, I'm not trying not to swear or use too many other words. Star. Again. EastEnders shock, knife attack, clowns, scenes, soap blasted for irresponsible plot. Why are TV shows in the paper? because they want you watching that rather than seeing what's really going on. That's why. Over there, Sexy Holly's Halloween boob. I'm guessing it's probably Holly Willoughby. I've no idea what it's about. But then, of course, you've got the porn up in the top there. Pam gets naked. Well, she must be 60 odd now, so that probably wouldn't be the best of sights. Daily Telegraph. Now, there's a few things we're going to talk about here, but I'll just start off with the main one. Arrests fall by half despite rising crime. Again, this is showing the police up for doing what they've been told to do. You know, someone gets raped, someone gets burgled, someone's car gets stolen, the phones get stolen, they get attacked. Ignore them. Ignore them. Only go to the ones that matter, like evictions, or if you've got to help bailiffs. They're the ones that you've got to go to. And what the cops don't realise is this makes the public see them in the light that they are acting, which is absolute waste of space. So that when, like I said earlier, when G4S comes in as a new private police force, and it'll go, oh, we're so glad we got rid of the corrupt police. Right, now this is more subliminal stuff. Up in the top corner there, style on Friday, forget that bit for the time being, time to embrace the dark side. Most will see this as to do with the furniture that's pictured there. However, it's not. It's getting you to, wanting you to embrace the dark side, the evil ones, the paedophiles, the criminals, the Satanists. That's what that's all about. It's nothing to do with what they say it is. Now here, on the left side there, migration will drive population to 73 million. Oh, attack the migrants! They're the root of all the evils! Except, of course, you know, it's not about that, is it? It's about divide and conquer. The migrants, by that they refer to the Muslims, and I know many Muslims, and they are the majority. I've not met many that are bad. The majority are extremely nice and pleasant and do the right thing, but the papers don't want you to think that. We'll come back to that in a later one, I believe. Boris swears to protect EU citizens' rights. Now, what he means by that is he's going to protect the EU citizens, not ours, not our rights. No, we've got no rights. Because, of course, we're leaving the EU, aren't we? Because Brexit, you know, that imaginary cloud cuckoo land thing, where we're going to be out of Brexit, so we haven't got to protect the EU rights, except, of course, there is no Brexit. This has been quite prevalent at the moment. Halt hackers, now NHS told. So some hackers apparently have attacked the NHS. Now, if you remember the quote that I'll put on at the end here by Dennis Healy, where things don't happen by accident, they're controlled and manipulated into happening, I believe that is what this is about as well. Now, if we move on to the 10p, migrants send our population soaring. Calls for tighter controls as 70 million will live here in 12 years' time. 70 million, yeah, just drivel, rubbish. Again, it's divide and conquer, which is what the papers are all about. Divide and conquer. Everything, all the time, is divide and conquer. Of course, down in the bottom there, we've got another parasite. By gum, Harry's lass, Meghan, hails from Yorkshire. This is an attempt to make you think she's a commoner. You know, just a normal woman like the rest of us. She's not. She's an inbred, been bred for this particular task, and that's what she's there for. So don't believe any of that absolute, utter junk. Why you should wash your fruit and vegetables? Well, yes, you should wash your fruit and vegetables, because majority of them, unless you get organic, but even then I'll come back to that as well, unless you get organic, they will have pesticides sprayed on them. So you should wash them to get any of the poisonous toxins off your food as best you can. Unfortunately, of course, they will have absorbed it, so if you eat them, you will be getting some of the poisonous toxins anyway. And then next to that, pension crisis, 8 million, too poor to retire. What? We're too... I thought we were one of the richest countries in the world. Oh no, it's just those that are at the very top that are rich. The rest of us are hoveling, trying to eke out a living, surviving on what tiny pittance we're left with after they've robbed it all, not just by tax, but by inflation, which is another tax, national insurance, which is another tax. The taxes, you could stay here for 5 minutes reeling off all the taxes. And once you see just how many taxes we are taxed by, you realise just how ripped off we are. Metro, neo-Nazi plot to kill MP, terror group member faces charges. Fear! Fear! Live in fear! You just sort of, sometimes you wonder why you bother with this sort of, these junk, and I don't know why anybody does, but hey. Times, as usual, not a great deal in here. The main headline, Draghi defies Hawks by choosing cautious exit over firm end of QE. QE was just a scam, always has been. That's why they had QE1, QE2, QE3, it's all a scam. And of course, it's meant to be for the better, but most will subliminally attach QE to Queen Elizabeth. They want you to think that she's a goodie instead of a pedo. HS2 finance officer to stand down amid claims redundancies payouts cover up. You mean in these big corporations, those at the top are actually bent, crooked criminals? Wow! Imagine that. I wonder how that came to pass then. I wonder who put him in that position. Something for you to do there, methinks. That's it for today. I hope you do start to spot this subliminal stuff that they lump together and that, because the sooner you do, the sooner you lose your fear against it, and the sooner it stops affecting you. Have a good one. Catch you later. Dennis Healy. World events do not occur by accident. They are made to happen, whether it is to do with national issues or commerce, and most of them are staged and managed by those who hold the purse strings.